Hey everyone, so this is Catfish, Season 7, Episode 3, called Kim and Matt. The catfishee is Kim, the catfisher is Matt. So the initial email has a guy named Joseph writing in from Sacramento, and he thinks his ex-girlfriend Kim is being catfish. So, he recently found out that she was talking to this, she has been talking to this guy for 5 years, for the past 5 years, and which is during part of the time that she was talking to him was while they were dating, and he explains, like, she's had it rough and all that, and I'm thinking, that doesn't mean you have the right to start, talking to and dating someone else while you're supposedly in a monogamous relationship with someone else. But anyway, so she hasn't met this guy, hasn't video chatted him, and doesn't even really know what he looks like. Matt supposedly lives in Florida now, but he used to live near them in Sacramento, and they still hadn't met. So, the reason why he wrote in for her is because she doesn't have the guts to ask Nev and Max for help. So they get him on Skype, and he explains that her mom passed and that as a result she got in trouble with the cops. Still has no excuse to do that, to just up and cheat. So, anyway, you can grieve for however long you need to, but don't fucking cheat and then say, oh, my mom died. Like, okay, yeah, that's sad, but that's still no reason to fucking cheat on somebody. Especially if you're supposed to be in a monogamous relationship. So, if you're in a polyamorous relationship, that's something different, obviously, but come on now. So, anyway, Joseph calls Kim to get her to meet them in person, so she agrees. So, Nev and Max then drive all the way to Sacramento from, I think, LA, and meet up with Kim at her house. Inside, she explains that she was 15 when she met Matt, so she's apparently 20 now. She talks to him on the phone twice a week, otherwise they just text. Excuse me, I just got an email. Anyway, we find out Matt is originally from Florida, but moved to Sacramento 2 years before, and is now back in Florida. Kim has taken a semester off from college to see if she wants to go to school in Florida to be with Matt. So, after all that, Nev and Max then go to, some local place, some local business, and start the investigation. They search his phone number, find Kim has, for the number she has for Matt, and they get his name associated with it. But it shows that it looks like it's a landline, so meaning that it's a texting app. They look at Matt's Facebook and see a girl named Crystal has posted quite a bit on his Facebook. So they reach out to her, and before she gets in contact with them, they look at his URL name and search for it on Google. They find that he has a Twitter account for it, for the handle that they searched, and that he posted a picture of himself in 2012, but the picture has his face covered from the nose down, so it's they can't really see his face. So they go back to the Google page where they looking for his handle, and they find that he has a Plenty of Fish account. They then get a phone call from Crystal, and they ask her if Matt has ever talked about Kim. Crystal says she hasn't heard him mention her, that they met in person a few years ago. She also reveals that he has a girlfriend that he's on and off again with in Florida, and he was telling the truth about moving to California, then moved back to Florida. So she's like, why don't you call his brother Nick, because they live together. So after they get off the phone, they call the number for Nick that she texts them, and Nick explains he has never heard of Kim either, and that as far as he knows, Matt isn't in a relationship. Matt then, says that he does live with Nick, but they both live at home with their mom, and that their mom is a travel nurse, which is why he was in Sacramento for a couple months. Nick is then says, like, it's weird that Matt doesn't, meet with Kim, because if he was in a relationship with her, he would do everything he could to meet up with her. So the next day, they go to Kim's house to tell her what they found. After hearing some of the information she takes a second for herself outside, and a moment later, she explains to Neve how, like, it's going better than she thought it would, and she's a little overwhelmed at the moment. So, but then after getting the rest of the information, she's wondering why he is hiding if he's supposed to be real. So Kim's like, well, I want to meet him, but the thing is, I'm scared of heights and I'm scared of planes. So they have to find some way for them to meet. So they say, well, we can bring him to you. We just need to call him first. So Neve goes outside to call him, and once he gets Matt on the phone, he explains the situation. And how Joe reached out on Kim's behalf and everything, and then so while Neve is talking to Matt inside, Max is wondering why he hasn't sent pictures and met up with her. So back outside, Matt agrees to fly out to them, and all that. So next thing you know, we see Laura pop up on the fucking screen, and I'm like, okay, why is she in the episode? Like, there's no reason for her to be in the episode, so why is she in the episode? Like, she's not helping out, and she's not bringing anything new to the table, so why is she in the episode? I mean, there's no reason for her to be. So what confuses me is, like, well, if Neve is staying in the intro for this season that she was going to help on some of the cases, why is she in every single episode? She's not bringing anything to this particular episode. I mean, so why exactly is she in that? Like, I mean, she's not, I mean, I'm not going to say she's a bad person, because obviously she's not, because I don't know much about her to begin with, but why is she in the episode if she's not bringing anything to the episode? Like, anyway. Sorry, little rant there. Anyway, so the next day, they go over to her house to wait for Matt, but when they get there, Joe is there. And so he explains the reason he's over there is because Kim called him the night before, panicked because there were some things that she didn't tell them. So Kim then comes out holding her and Joe's kid. So that's what she hasn't told them. Matt doesn't know that she has a kid because he said he doesn't like them or want them. And I think this is when Joe finds out that Kim and Matt have been talking about her moving down to Florida to go to college there. And then Joe leaves with their daughter. And then we find out Kim didn't really start showing in her pregnancy until she was almost due. And one time when they were supposed to meet up, while he was living there, she went into labor and had to leave him hanging, basically. So Neve then texts Matt about meeting up at a local park, because he's supposed to have been landing around that time. And so on the way, she's wondering how she will tell Matt about her daughter. But Max brings up the fact that, like, he has to answer some things as well, like why he's never sent any pictures of himself and why he's never seemed to make more of an effort to meet her while in Sacramento. And so once at the park, they find Matt's there, and Kim is like, do you have a girlfriend? He says no. Why do you never send any pictures? And he's like, I'm not comfortable being in front of the camera. And he says, well, I care for you and all that. And then she drops the bomb that she has a kid. And then she's like, do you want to be her godfather? I'm like, girl, stop, like, what are you doing? What the fuck is, like, I don't get, like, this season really is pissing me off right now. Like, I mean, I was pleasantly shocked about the fact that she has a daughter. She is awkward as hell, and so I was not expecting her to say that she has a daughter. But, girl, why the fuck are you asking him to be her godfather 2 seconds after telling him that you have a kid? And at this point, this shit's starting to get on my nerves, and I'm like, what the fuck you doing? This season has really been weird, and I'm just like, what the fuck you doing? Like, these people, if it's not the wardrobe, it's the way they're acting, or the way they're talking, or something. It's like, at this point, I'm not really, I'm not really sympathizing with these the people who are thinking they're being catfish. I'm not empathizing with them. I'm not, because at this point, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, I'm still gonna fucking watch, but I'm not really like sympathizing and empathizing with these people, and it's just like, I don't know. Anyway, so she's like, well, the reason I didn't meet up with you is because the one time is because I went to labor, and anyway, so we convene the next day, pick up Matt, bring her to our house. She comes out with Norma. But then Joe picks her up a few minutes later. They go to a local place where they sell ice cream. So the two talk about where they should go from there. And he's like, well, the best thing for me is not to be in a relationship right now. But he will help her with Norma if she wants. 3 months later, she's taken on classes to become a surgeon. She talks with Matt once in a while. She has moved on with a love life with a guy she had previously decided not to date. And Matt has stepped up as being a godfather to Norma. And Kim plans on visiting him soon. That's basically the episode in a nutshell. Next week, a guy, I don't know who the guy's name is, who thinks he's being catfish, but he's talking to this woman named Sierra, and apparently during the investigation part of it, they find out that she has 2 profiles. So it's just like that Dartalius episode, that first episode where there were 2 profiles, and I'm not really gonna make any predictions for that. So for next week, I'm just gonna leave it as it is. But like I said, this season so far has been really weird. They're talking about double the reveals, double the secrets, double everything, and I'm like, it really hasn't been like that. It really hasn't been double everything. It's really just been kind of like, really, this is what you have to offer, kind of, what the fuck? Because at this point, it's really just not that. I'm still gonna watch, and I'm still probably gonna make some videos on it, but I mean, at this point, it's not that. They can't say that it's double everything when it's not really that shocking. It's just really kind of annoying. I don't know. But that's just me. So I will see you guys next week for Catfish.